people. I thought today I would do a flip through of my Hobonichi Weeks. Here it is, almost September, and I haven't really updated you guys about what I'm doing in my weeks. So if you're interested in seeing a flip through, here we go. So I wanted to go through my Hobonichi Weeks just because this planner kind of sometimes gets ignored. I kind of go hot and cold with this planner. So I love it, but I also love my personal ring. So I have a tendency to use this as more of a backup, on the go, errand runner type planner, and not so much an everyday carry, depending on what I'm doing during the day. So I guess what I mean by that is, depending on what I'm going to be doing at work will depend on if I take this or my personal rings. So let's take a look inside. This is the Shantan edition for 2021. I just loved it. I thought it was really unique and pretty cool. Something very different than what I've seen them come out with in the past. So I picked this one up. I also have, I think, a pencil board or something in this pattern and a cover on cover in another Shantan character. So inside, I've just put some stickers. These came from Rickshaw Bagworks, and they are the ones that do my favorite pen cases, and I don't have one sitting around, but I have quite a few pen cases. They also sell like laptop bags and things like that. So this is just a little card that came with this Weeks. I have a Chic Sparrow sticker here. Some sticky notes. I generally don't use these yearly overviews. This, I'm embarrassed to say, I meant to set up as a tracker for vacations and paydays and the Saturdays that I work, and I just never really got around to it. So I am kind of considering going back and putting like my steps in there. And because that's easily found in my iPhone, you know, I can go back and see how many steps I had and put that in. But of course, you know, now I'm like 8 months behind, so it's gonna have to be a project for when I have lots of spare time on my hands, which isn't gonna be anytime soon. So for the monthly, I kind of go back and forth whether I decorate with stickers or not. I do like these little round dots to mark paydays. And sometimes I throw in some washi. And then sometimes I have some Cocoa Daisy stickers. I just love this bird and the, you know, how I layered it on the washi. It just kind of looks like it's sitting there in the flowers. And this is pretty simple, just some washi and the colored dots. And this looks like I just use fountain pen. Sometimes, most of the time I use my friction pen because I don't like scratching things out, but it looks like I was on a fountain pen kick at this time. And so, yeah, I have, this one also looks like fountain pen. And this one, that one. So it's hard to tell with that one. Generally, if I'm going to use fountain pen, I do not use black ink because I figure that's boring. Like if I'm going to use a fountain pen, I want to use some fantastic ink. So for September, I'm going to be using Cocoa Daisy stickers. I really, really like their September designs. I do have a couple of small subs to Cocoa Daisy just to keep my foot in the door because, you know, once they get to the reveal on the 28th, then on the 29th, if you have a current sub, you can purchase anything that's left over. So, and that is before the general public can start purchasing on the 1st. So I have a subscription to the Weeks stickers. And then if I want anything for my rings planner, then I'm able to grab things then. I really like the September design. So I got my really pretty week stickers. And then I also will have stickers that I ordered extra for my personal rings. So these will be coming soon to this page. So sometimes if I have something in the future that I need to remember, I will put like one of those small 2x2 sticky notes. Like I have a couple of cast-offs here that I had for August and was able to just discard them once I filled in all my information for August. So that takes care of the months. And then I'm all over the place with how I did my weeks, because sometimes I really want a sticker. Sometimes I just use pen. So it just depends on how much time I have. That's the nice thing about this planner, is I don't put a lot of expectations on myself for having to decorate, or, you know, just basically all I need is to get my appointments and my meetings and whatnot in here in my schedule. Anything else is just a bonus. So you'll see some weeks I put more effort into it than others. So mostly I kind of followed the same layout until I got to very recently in the book. I like to keep all my appointments and schedule over here, my to buy and to-do list over here, and some notes if I need it, and that works out pretty good. And again, sometimes you'll see stickers, sometimes not. And this is just a little card that was in the January Cocoa Daisy kit. Sometimes I use Tombos in here. I did a lot of weird stuff here. I'm not very good at layering. Like, some people can take and make these really awesome collages and stuff with their stickers, and I'm just not good at it. So yeah, I have a tendency to just plop some stickers here and there because I'm just not creative like that. And again, here we have some Cocoa Daisy stickers that I really like, those birds. I do really kind of like script stickers. I've started kind of collecting them to use in my planners. And I had a stencil that I was using for these squares, because I'm a list person, so it really helps me to make a list and then put a check mark once it's done, or, you know, an X if it was canceled or I didn't do it. Again, I use dots mostly to indicate a payday. And one thing that, you know, makes me sad if I don't use stickers, the Hobonichi isn't going to get big and fat, and I really like when the Hobonichi at the end of the year is really chunky, because it just gives me a feeling of accomplishment. So I have been trying to get a few stickers in here and there. And this looks like I was fountain pen only. I recognize this as fountain pen ink. I don't know what kind of pen I was using here, but that is a thick pen. I don't know what it was. It may have been a Retro 51 pen, or I don't know. This is definitely fountain pen ink. And then I have really gone crazy for Paper Minty Studio, I think it's called. Let me see, did I say that right? Paper Minty Studio, yes. I love the washi tapes and stickers from Paper Minty Studio. So I've got a little collection of those going that you'll see here and there. And then this was a disaster. So this is probably the worst week in my entire Hobonichi right now. I mean, it's not to the end of the year yet, so there's still hope that I could top this hideousness, but basically I tried some watercolor and I don't know why it never looks nice when I watercolor, even if I'm just trying to get some, you know, I wasn't trying to paint anything specific. I just wanted some color in the background and it just looks dumb to me. So I probably will stay away from the watercolors in my weeks from now on. And then this was a crazy washi tape that basically covers up almost the entire weekend. So I have no idea what I was thinking when I did that. And that is definitely fountain pen ink. I have quite a few weeks in here in a row where I was using just ink because I was super busy and did not have time to keep up with this. And sometimes it's a matter of, you know, maybe I was using my ring planner a lot that week or two. So rather than really going all out in 2 planners, I probably just did the basics in here. And again, this is fountain pen ink. Here's some fortunes from a couple of fortune cookies. Okay, this is nuts because I don't know what was going on with this, but this looks awfully dark and thick for my fountain pen. So I must have been using a different nib than I'm used to. So what I did was, starting here, I saw somebody else on either Instagram or Facebook or something that had drawn the line all the way across, you know, so now you have basically 2 sides for one day, giving you more space for like notes and stuff like that. And then what I decided to do, because I generally don't have tons going on for the weekend, I left this as a space for notes or grocery list or what have you. So basically Monday through Friday we'll have 2 sections, one on the left, one on the right, and then I only have a section on the left for Saturday and Sunday. And that works out great. So I started doing that recently, and I think I'm going to stick with that for a while because I really like that. And so mostly what I have is my schedule and my meetings and appointments over here. But then if I need to make a note about anything, or, you know, anything I need to remember or something that stood out that day that I need to document, will go on the right side. And this was a kit that I put in. It's really cute. One thing I discovered about doing kits in Hobonichi though, is if you use kits every single week, you will get this huge lump right here where you have your date covers. So what I started doing is, if I use a kit, I don't always use the date covers. I've started putting some sticky notes in to try to remember what I need to write down in my journal, I'm going to call it, because it's not really a journal. It's kind of sort of a journal, but not really a journal. So I think that what I'm going to do for 2022 is I'm going to have a weeks that I use like this. Like, it's going to be my quick and dirty, errand runner, jot things down, and that's where I'll keep my schedule and my appointments and whatnot. But I think I'm going to also buy another weeks that I'm just going to be keeping on me at all times to jot down things I need to remember to write in my journal. Because the problem with journaling is I don't have time to do it every night, because sometimes I'm just too tired or I have other things to do. And then by the time I go to writing it, I can't remember what I need to write. You know, I can remember what happened that day or maybe the day before, and that's it. So I kind of want to be able to jot down little quick things instead of leaving little sticky notes like this, so that I can go back and journal appropriately. So here's another kit. the first year that I did the Hobonichi Weeks, I went crazy buying kits. I have this full of Hobonichi kits that I bought like the first year, and then I kind of for a while decided, no, I'm not going to do any stickers in my Hobonichi Weeks, and then now I'm kind of back to it. So I pull things out of here randomly if I feel like it. If I just feel like using ink, then I just use ink. That's fine too. So, and this was last week, I believe. And I need to get set up for this week. Whoops, this week. Yep, so this is what I'll do tonight, is I will fill in the 30th through the 5th. So that takes care of the weeks, and I do, again, have like a sticky note in here about something that's coming up in the future, which works out great. I mean, really, sticky notes are the best. So then if you get back here, I kind of sort of have this index. It mostly is correct. So I'm not going to show you important numbers because I don't want to show you phone numbers. I have a lot of work notes, Jeep maintenance, student loan stuff, continuing education. I have to get so many every 3 years. So I have to do, well, actually for work, I have to have so many every year. And for my certification, I have to have so many every 3 years. Books to read, my bills. This is just the simplest bill tracker here. I just put a check mark once it's paid, so. And then my packing list for summer vacation, which is over now, sad face. And I've started my tentative wish list for Hobonichi 2022, which is coming up very soon. And more work notes. And then I've dedicated a couple pages to Paper Minty Studio because I ended up with so much washi, and it's all kind of very similar in the color palette, and it's very floral. And I was starting to look at Etsy and go, I really like that, but I think I might have that. So I've just put swatches in here just so I can look back and not buy the same thing I already have. So that is Paper Minty Studio. As you can see, I have an extra page because I anticipate that I will buy more. And then this is the Kita, I think it's called, or Kita. I'm not sure which way it's pronounced, but this is the stuff that is you usually associate with your Hobonichi. They sell it with Hobonichi. You can get it on Jet Pens. I have this little book here that I bought on Jet Pens to stash my Kita washi tapes. And so I have all these, and then I just kind of stuck this in here. This doesn't actually belong in here, but that helps me keep it organized and keep it from getting lost. But also then by swatching, now I can, if I order some from Hobonichi or Jet Pens or what have you, I won't get the same thing twice. So I'm a little stingy with this washi, and I'm not quite sure why. I just like having it in the little books, but that kind of defeats the purpose of buying it. And I think that's all I have in my notes. I'm kind of embarrassed about my notes. I thought about getting a mega this next year because I know a lot of people get the mega and then they'll like dedicate a little bit for every day. So instead of having let me get back here, like notes like I did on this day, they would have a page back here and they would just have a date and they would have their little notes for the day. And I thought about doing that, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm convinced that I want to do that. So that's it for my Hobonichi Weeks. I hope that wasn't too boring. So, I mean, like I said, this is a great versatile book that you can do as much as you want with it. You don't have to feel guilty if you only use pen, and if you really want to, you can go crazy with the stickers. So it's, you know, and you can try different layouts. It's very portable, so that's another thing I love about it. And there's just something so satisfying at the end of the year when you have that book filled out. So this is 2020. It did not get very fat because this is not a mega. But I mean, it still just really makes me happy to look through here. You can see there's some blanks because once I get to December, I don't use January and February of the following year because I'm already chomping at the bit to use my new Hobonichi. So there's no way I'm going to continue in my old one. I do make myself finish the entire year though. So in other words, I think, when does this start? November? So yeah, or December. So even though I wrote in this for December, in my previous year, I would have finished December in the previous year. I just did this for the sake of completeness. And here's an example of what I was talking about when I said I like to keep track of my weekends, my vacation days, and what else did I say? Paydays. So that's what you're seeing here. And I don't know why I didn't make a key, but I generally know by looking at it, but right now I can't remember. And I don't know what pens I use, but man, those are some shiny ass pens. They're really pretty though. I should figure out what that is and use them again. I like that. I just gotta figure out what it was. They're really pretty. So anyway, this was what I was planning to do for the current year, and I just never got around to it. So I think that, I don't know if there's any point in going back and doing that now for this year. I may as well just charge ahead and put my steps in it or something. This was 2020, and I love the penguins. And this was 2019. This was a mega. So you can see, I just feel so delighted to see this, how it's, I don't know, it's just all beat up and warped, and it just looks like it was well loved, doesn't it? So, oh, I was a weather tracker for a while. Yeah, I should start doing that again. I actually like doing that. So if you look here, it was 4 below that day. Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to start doing that maybe in 2022 again. I really like doing that. So I did use a lot of stickers. I think I use stickers pretty much every week in some fashion. So, although as I said before, I did skip some of the dates because it was getting, you know, it gets a little ridgy there. Oh, I know, it just makes me so happy. This is exactly why I want to have a Hobonichi Weeks every year for the rest of my life, whether I have anything to plan or not. It's very satisfying. And I think I had, oh yeah, let's look at this. I know, this wasn't planned. I wasn't gonna show you guys. This is my pen test. I'm sure I have a pen test in my current one. That just seems like standard operating procedure for any planner girl, right? Let's look. Oh yeah, it's not very extensive. Yeah, I mean, I guess I've been sticking to what I know. Anyway, I had a lot of pen tests going on here. Bus schedule, and the buses, that doesn't mean anything to me now. Oh, I don't want to show you any phone numbers. Order tracker. Yeah, I gave up in July. It was too much work. Wish list. I need to utilize my blank pages a little better in the back, I think, for 2022. So yeah, I could definitely see myself writing more notes if I had a mega. Oh, I was tracking steps like this, which is kind of fun. So every month, you know, the thing about tracking steps is it doesn't make me walk more to track it. You know, I just track whatever I went. And so then I think, well, why bother? Summer to-do list, monthly bills. And I think I was, yeah, podcasts for a while. I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, I had to try some protein drinks. So I made a list of the disgusting ones and rated them. They're all disgusting. Huh. Spoiler alert. And then I started writing words down. If I never heard a word before, you know, like I'm 52 years old and I feel like if I come across a word I've never heard before, I should take note of it and make sure I learn it. These are quotes in some fancy shiny pens. I gotta figure out what pens those were because I'm sure that's what I used at the beginning here. And then that was it. And there's, you know, there's notes in here I didn't use. So do I need a mega? I don't know. What's that? Oh. So anyway, that was my flip through, and you then kind of saw a flip through of previous years, but you can see what my goal is. And I kind of feel like I'm failing on this one because it's not very chunky, but it is kind of neat. If you look here, you can see, you know, like the unused portion of the book compared to the used, and the pages are all kind of like wrinkly, and I don't know, I just like that. So I'm sure you guys that use a Hobonichi Weeks can understand what I'm saying. So anyway, that is all I wanted to show you today. I am going to be doing a flip through of my personal rings as well, because I haven't done that for eons. And then I think I'll be caught up. So thanks for joining me, and I will talk to you later. Bye.